On the 10th of March, Outriders released a new animated trailer. It's a pretty cool trailer, but in the demo, we actually have a lot of information that adds a lot of context to the scenes shown. You want that info? I have the answers. In this video, I'm going to break all the details down for you, and as a result, you'll learn a little bit more about Earth before its abandonment, as well as who exactly our Outriders are. Just in case you're someone who hasn't seen the trailer, I'm just going to let it roll. If you want to skip straight to the breakdown, go to the next segment of the video.
They called for the best, the brightest. Shining heroes picked to restart civilization, half a galaxy away. Yeah, well those guys, they got blown up. So they turned to us, the bastards, the outcasts, sent to save our species on some far-off planet. But this place had other plans. Most were killed. We were changed. Reborn as something more powerful. Weapons. So, this planet wants to destroy us? Good luck. With every kill, we're only growing stronger. This isn't salvation. This is survival. If that means getting some blood on our hands, so be it.
Okay, to begin with, we have a mature 17 plus ESRB rating. The ESRB is a self-regulatory body established in 1994. Okay, fine. I'm just grab my book. Right off the bat, we see the date 2048. What does this mean? Well, it was between 2033 and 2034 that the African War, the war that crashed Earth.exe, ended, and it was discovered that humanity only had around 100 years left to live on Earth before it became uninhabitable. I actually just want to add in, during my reading, I made the discovery that it wasn't exactly 100 years, but it was by the end of the century, so it was actually far less than that. So yeah, by the end of that century, Earth was bye-bye. However, this information was wisely kept from the people of Earth until a plan for survival could be formed. Now, I want to draw your attention to the city in the background, behind the date. It's pretty much gone to crap. There's at least two reasons for this. The first is because of the earthquakes. Like I mentioned in the Fall of Earth video, man-made earthquakes were used as weapons during the African War. But even after the war ended, more powerful natural earthquakes continued to happen across the world. This was due to the extensive damage that was inflicted on the convection currents. So yeah, a lot of damage to this city probably came from these recurring earthquakes. The second reason is because 2048 also happens to be the unlucky year when word got out about the Earth being doomed. Everyone freaked out, and society almost completely fell apart. I've read in the lore that several cities just kind of crumbled, and I know for a fact that San Francisco was torn apart by gangs. So again, looking at this city, a lot of the deterioration might be caused by the riots. Next, we have this shot here. The ship you see in the distance is most likely the Caravel. Caravel was the scout ship that would take primarily the Outriders to Enoch. Now, I think it's pretty self-explanatory as to why these people aren't happy. Everyone that you see here, the rioters and the police, are as good as dead. Anyone who doesn't have a seat on that ship is dead. Like I said, self-explanatory. It's also interesting to note that the police are from the ECA. This is another sign that the world is a very different place now, with this organization replacing the jurisdiction of nations and local bodies. Next shot are the people chasing Outriders. Two reasons for this. The main one is simple. These guys have a place on the ship and the people don't, so But at the same time, what I think a lot of people don't know is that the Outriders existed way before Enoch. I mentioned how the cities of the world were falling apart, and the Outriders became the task force that went in and saved lives. So who were they? They were the best of the best. the best soldiers, the best scientists, the best engineers. When you're faced with the worst kind of problem, you need the best people to fight it back. I think it's fair to say that a lot of people saw the Outriders as saviors or guardians in this dark time, and so for them to depart, 4 Enoch really came across as these protectors abandoning them. So yeah, they're not happy. As the game has made very clear by cutscenes and this trailer, the Caravel blew up. I haven't discovered why this happened. There was some major engine malfunction that caused a chain reaction, blah blah blah, but I don't know, man. I'm really just wondering if there was a sabotage, you know? Who knows, okay? But yeah, the Caravel blew up. Only time will tell. Those guys I mentioned, the best of the best, yeah, they pretty much all died. So new Outriders were needed. The ECA had lost their best, and I guess their second best, yeah, I guess they weren't on the list, so they went elsewhere. Where specifically? Mercenaries. That's where Jack Tanner comes in. Jack Tanner was the leader of an extremely successful group of mercenaries, and he agreed to take the best of his group and use them to create the second wave of Outriders. The player character was one of the first people he approached with the offer, so it's safe to assume that we were all mercenaries. Now, I touched briefly on the fact that the first wave of Outriders were more than just soldiers. They covered a variety of fields. However, if a mercenary was in charge of creating the second wave, and that wave came from within his own mercenary group, then I'm not too sure if the new Outriders were as adept at biomedicine as they were at trickshotting. Just, food for thought. It took 43 years for the Flores, I think that's how you pronounce it, to be constructed, and all life on Earth presumably died in 2091. So I'm going to just assume that this was when the Flores departed Earth. Just a guess. Everyone on the Flores was asleep the whole trip, except for 50 crew members who just maintained everything, They would rotate out of cryo every 30 days, and in total, there were around 1,000 shifts. And yeah, that's... Shut up, birds. I don't know, what are birds doing at this time? Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the meat and bones of the trailer. The rest is just about how Enoch bad, Outriders powerful, kill them all. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So yeah, I hope you found this interesting. As soon as I watched the trailer, I recognized a few dates that just kind of stood out from my memory, and so I went digging through the archives to see what I could find, and this is it. Not gonna lie, the lore of this game is pretty cool so far, so I'm hyped to see the rest of it. Let me know if you feel the same. Okay, with that being said, I thank you for your time, and I will get back to work. Check my Twitter to see what's next in the pipeline. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.